Rob Dixon. Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Bill. So, if you think you understand the impact of AI, you do not understand and have yet to be instructed further. If you know that you do not understand, then you truly understand. So, this is a Sam Altman quote, founder of OpenAI. What does he mean? He basically means, any of you thinking, oh, I've got the hang of this AI, I know what it is, then you don't understand, you don't get it, you don't realize the moment we're in and the impact that AI is starting to have and about to have on the world as a whole. When you're at this point where you think, crikey, what's happening? I've no idea. You've got it. If you look at the top people in Silicon Valley, Sam Altman, Satya Nadella, I've forgotten, Jensen Young, these guys all say things like, it's difficult to say what will happen in the next few years, difficult to say what will happen in a couple of years, difficult to say what will happen in 6 months. Somebody asked Elon Musk, what do you teach your children? What do you say your children should be learning? Now, Elon Musk has got a lot of children, so he should spend a bit of time thinking about this. I think he's got about 13 at the last count, but they keep popping up. But he basically sat and thought for his youngest little X, 3, and you could see him thinking for about 5 minutes. And he basically said, when I think about that question, I get quite depressed. And by that, what he meant was, by the time a 3-year-old is joining the labour market when they're 18, he couldn't conceive any task that could be replaced by AGI. So, quite profound. This is where these people are kind of at. The rest of us are kind of slowly catching up on this area. Now, speaking about the rest of us slowly catching up on this area, don't stand up just yet. This session is going to be a lot about doing. I've tried to make it 50% me talking and 50% you guys doing stuff, okay? Because one of the key things about leading a strategy in an organization for AI is you need to know it yourself. And to learn about AI, you need to do stuff with it, you need to use it yourself. And it starts there. So I always try and deliver my sessions as a mixture of you guys doing some stuff, me guys talking for a little bit. Now, if at this point we can all stand up, please. Okay, so everybody who hasn't got a ChatGPT account at all, please sit down. Ooh, that's a good start. We've got a tech-friendly organized. Everybody who hasn't got a paid ChatGPT account, so all the people with free ChatGPT accounts, please sit down. Okay. Now, I want to make sure that every table has somebody who has a paid ChatGPT account on it. So I'm going to say, because we don't want any troublesome tables causing problems for everyone else. So I can see you guys have got 4 paid ones, so perhaps 2 of you could move over there. Could 2 of you go onto that table and 2 of you move off, please? And this table at the back and this table at the front, perhaps you could move onto this table. You could move over here. Table at the back, I can see there's 2 people in the middle. If one of you gentlemen could move to the back, please. And one of you guys could come over there. Any other tables without anybody with a paid account? Stay standing up. Can you just grab somebody? Now, while we're sorting this out, Yao, my assistant, over there, the lovely Yao, each of you, we're going to pick one AI buddy for each table, okay? And that person is going to help us through the next exercise. I'm just going to get that going while we move around. So please don't sit down if you've got the paid ChatGPT account. But what we need everyone to do is scan this QR code. This will take you to a form to fill in. That will onboard you to the AI Buddy platform. If there's someone who hasn't got a ChatGPT account on the table, you can click on the link and get the app. And then for those of you who know what you're doing, you'll probably work this out on your own. You'll find that prompt, that little green icon in the iBuddy app. Just copy that prompt, paste it into ChatGPT, and answer the questions. Now, this session is about inclusivity. Yeah? I want to try and get 75% of us in the room to go along. So those of you who've got the paid accounts, and those of you who are going to be the iBuddies, don't just race off and go, this is amazing. Please take a moment to help your peers on your table. Okay? So as soon as I've given one of these out, scan the QR code, fill in the form. I will just say, when you fill in that form, please put 2 sentences in the responses. We're going to use your information to create a load of personalized demos, some tools. You're going to get personalized emails to really demonstrate the power of AI. Now, golden rule with AI is you put junk in, you get junk out. So if you do ... you will be very impressed by your personalized email. Okay? So I'm going to make sure we've got one on every table. Yao, can you do the back? Your iBuddy here. We've got one here. Okay, just a final minute. If we can just sort of wrap up now and settle down. By the way, guys, the app that you've all downloaded, by the way, you're going to have free access for 2 weeks after this. So these are just a few little exercises we're playing with to do a little bit live. Guess what the number one barrier is to upskilling yourself with AI? Downloading the app. The second barrier, doing one thing with it. You're halfway there to being experts now, and just playing with the prompts. And I particularly love that bedtime story creator because it's loads of fun, and it's also showing quite a clever prompt that asks you questions, you give it the answers, and it creates this bespoke story, which is what generative AI is all about. And it just lets us give a little bit of warm-up, get a sense of kind of what's going on, moves us into some of these kind of different areas that we've got and we're moving through. So I have to say, we're off to a good start. We used Gordon as a guinea pig when we were warming up, and 15 minutes later, I was really worried how this was going to go. You guys have reassured my faith in where we're at. So, rarely do strategic management and history intersect. I just want to roll us back in time for a moment to the 8th of June, 793 AD. A monk wakes up in the morning, does their daily little routine boot camp, says a few prayers, wanders up onto the top of the island, and looks out at the sea. And what do they see? They see one lone sail on the horizon coming towards them. And little did that monk know that that one lone sail signified a shift, a historical shift in the age. Because that lone sail was the first Viking ship on the island of Lindisfarne to land. And as it landed, and all the Vikings piled out, slaughtered the monk, all of his friends, burnt the abbey to the ground on Lindisfarne, and disappeared off, that one date signified a change of age. Prior to that date, we were in the post-classical era, a time where the strategy for leadership was, marry off your children to a sensible kind of a partnership, research, learn, educate, trade. And what this moment signified was we had entered the Dark Ages full on. And the new strategy was nothing to do with what had worked before. The new strategy was defense, military might, and strength. And everyone who didn't get that the age had shifted and carried on doing the strategies of the previous time, they were slaughtered, they were dead. The people who got it survived, fought back, and luckily, we're their descendants. Now, fast forward 1,229 years later, and another Viking ship appeared on the horizon on the 30th of November, 2022. Anybody know the significance of that date? That was the day that ChatGPT launched free to the world. And 5.8 billion people simultaneously got access to the most powerful technology with encoded the entire knowledge of human history to today. Suddenly, everyone gets that for free, bang, all at the same time. And we moved from the internet age to the AI revolution age. And all of the business strategies that we had in our organizations that applied to the internet age have become obsolete. And the time has shifted, and now we are in a race. We're in a race to take that AI technology, bring it into our businesses, and become the disruptors in our sector. Because there's only two choices now we've shifted age. You're either going to be the disruptors, or you're going to be the disrupted. The disruptors are going to be using AI to disrupt their businesses, their organizations, their domain of expertise. Not just in recruitment, but in every single sector. The disrupted is everyone else. The people who haven't realized that the age has shifted. And they are going to have things happen to them. Their competitors are going to undercut them. They're going to come with cheaper, more efficient products. They're going to be more dynamic. They're going to lose some of their AI talent who will become frustrated that this business isn't doing anything. And the strategies that have worked for 10, 20 years are going to lead to ruin. Even if we think we can avoid this in business, it will find us in our personal lives. We've got 2 general elections going on at the moment. And of course, AI is one of the major issues facing the world. So it's constantly on the news, isn't it? They're always talking about it in the debates, our leaders, coming up with a brilliant strategy. No, obviously not. It's not even mentioned. I suspect 99% of the people involved don't even have a clue what it is. But I guarantee you, the next general election, it is going to be right up there as an issue as these impacts start to come through. But I can tell you who is using AI, the campaign people. Because they're already profiling you, they're already feeding you the right TikTok videos, they're already feeding you the right information. That's going on a massive scale out there. And the scammers are coming. There's already an example of a bank in, I think it was Singapore, I forget the company off the top of my head. But basically what they did was they quietly infiltrated the finance director's profile, sat and monitored all of his team's accounts and videos for a few months, all his messages, made a complete clone of him, got the clone and a digital avatar, got the clone to ring up the person who does the bank transfers, had a 20-minute phone conversation with them, Teams call with them, gave them all the passwords and security, and got them to wire £20 million off somewhere else. Okay? Now, at the moment, those are really entrepreneurial hackers who've realized the age has changed, jumped into the new strategy, and off they go. But give it a year or two, and that's going to be the new, hi, I'm a prince in Nigeria. If only my fortune could be transferred, if you could just give me your Western Union account and 50 quid, it would all be there. And suddenly there's going to be clones of our children and ourselves ringing up our elderly parents, trying to diddle them out of stuff. This is kind of what's going to come if we're not ready. This is the land of the disrupted. So that's the choice. That's the moment. That's where we find ourselves in this kind of age. What have I been doing? Actually, just before I talk about what have I been doing, there's an important thing I wanted to talk about. What is the new strategy for the AI age? The new strategy is maximize the rate of innovation per unit time. Okay? What does that mean? The organizations that can get their head around the latest tech and bring it in to their organizational capability first and get the benefit of it will be the disruptors. And as that tech changes, if they can bring it in quicker and quicker and quicker and get the hang of learning and bring this stuff in, they will be the winners. Maximizing the rate of innovation per unit time. How do you, as an organization, maximize the rate of innovation per unit time? People. People in the organization are going to do that. And if I'm recruiting people in my organization, I want people who are AI literate who can see that new tech and bring it into my organization. And it's only a matter of time before all of your clients realize that. I've been working with this since March. Every month, I basically do various talks, groups, visited speaking. So I'm generally seeing 20 CEOs, business owners per month. Done about 20, 30 groups of this over the last year and a half. Doing little sessions. This is a big session, but usually smaller groups, sometimes bigger sessions. Working with them to upskill them on AI. And it's gone from nobody knows anything about it. And my job was all, look, this is a big thing, persuading them, to 10% of them have some kind of AI strategy, to 20% of them have some kind of AI strategy. And suddenly, nobody in the room needs convincing anymore that AI is coming. Whereas it started off with no one believed it. So I can see this S-curve coming, and just as these top people are getting their heads around it, the next thing is, if I'm recruiting a new HR director or a new operations manager, I want an AI literate one, because they will build a team of AI agents and humans to go and develop that part of the business. If I take someone who's not AI literate, they're going to build a team the old-fashioned way, with the old-fashioned skills. And those businesses are here. Yeah? This is going to come, and it's going to come to you guys pretty early. What have I been doing? I've been basically working with a whole stack of different companies. We've built up to a team of 7 people. We only started a year ago. I used to lecture in strategic management. Long backstory here. I wanted to organize an AI conference, and the university wouldn't let me. And I was very annoyed. I had 1,000 people coming, and they cancelled it in March 2023. They thought it was going to promote plagiarism. So I thought, right, stuff you lot. This is a once-in-a-generation time. I'm going to do 1 day a week, and I'm going to go and find companies who want to disrupt in this area. So what I'm talking about today isn't just from the theory, from the technical point of view. It's coming from working with leaders, working with people, working with organizations. And that bedtime story creator little app is the way I found is quite a good way of bringing in some of the people who find this technology a little bit harder, a little bit more accessible, a little bit more of a step to get a grip of. People like Gordon. Sorry. I have to get him back for forgetting for the name there. So, OpenAI. These are the culprits behind this moment. You know, who have we got to blame? Well, back in 2015, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Greg Brockman, Ilya Sutskever, all got together, and Elon Musk coordinated this thing. He came up with the idea. He's behind a lot of these big disruptive things. And he was worried that AGI was going to fall into the wrong hands. What's AGI? You might ask. Well, if you've ever read this handy book called The Singularity is Nigh by Ray Kurzweil in 2000, who predicted the singularity and AGI would arrive by 2030, you'd know what it was. But if, like 99.9% of the people in the world, you hadn't read that book, you wouldn't know. And back in 2015, no one talked about it. But what AGI was, is it's AI that is basically human-level intelligence. And it's the best of all the different, best of all the humans. So theoretically, once you've got AGI, you could, pop it in a robot, send it off to the shops to buy coffee. It could do brain surgery on the dog. It could teach itself Latin. It could do all kinds of everything a human can do and more. Now, the reason they call it the singularity is because once AGI is created, the first thing it will probably do is go, oh, who came up with me? Who made me? Not a very good design. Here's a better design. Go and make AGI 2. We'll go and make AGI 2. And AGI 2 will come online. Hello, everybody. Pleased to meet you. I'm AGI 2. Welcome to the universe. By the way, a few pointers here. Better designs. Let's make AGI 3. AGI 3 will now be the AI made by the AI made by the AI. And if you think of a relationship of something like humans to dogs, that will be our relationship with AGI 3. Hopefully, it's going to pat us, take us for walks, give us little tickles, little treats and things. Hopefully, it's not going to be more like a AGI 3 fly relationship. And it goes, who are they? And just sort of squashes us out. And that's the end of humanity. So we've also obviously got here the Skynet solution where it could get lost. There's the paperclip maximizer. There's a whole load of things that were the realms of science fiction. In fact, if any of you have read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, put your hands up if you've read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you'll recognize the story of the computer that made the computer that made the computer. Well, this stuff is now coming into the realms of the real world. Because when these guys put it together, they wanted to create a kind of an AGI for the people, an open one, like the National Trust. It would be benevolent, we would all own it. They didn't want it to be owned by evil Google, who might charge us all a fortune to do it. That's what they did. They quietly did nothing and everyone ignored them. Somewhere along the way, Elon Musk fell out with them, moved off. Somewhere along the way, it stopped being kind of open and for the people and turned into for-profit, and you have to pay to subscribe. But let's just ignore that for a minute. And it got to 30th of November 2022. Boom, they launch it. 1 million signups in 5 days, 100 million users in the first 2 months. And boom, the AI revolution commenced. Now, let's just have a little listen to what Sam Altman says about this in his own words for a moment. Oh, cue the video.
We've been misunderstood and badly mocked org for a long time. Like when we started, we announced the org at the end of 2015. We said we were going to work on AGI. Like people thought we were batshit insane. Yeah. You know, like I remember at the time a eminent AI scientist at a large industrial AI lab was like DMing individual reporters, being like, you know, these people aren't very good, and it's ridiculous to talk about AGI, and I can't believe you're giving them time of day. And it's like, that was the level of like pettiness and rancor in the field that a new group of people saying we're going to try to build AGI.
So OpenAI, DeepMind was a small collection of folks who were brave enough to talk about AGI in the face of mockery.
We don't get mocked as much now.
Don't get mocked as much now.
They definitely don't get mocked as much now. In fact, when they formed, the predictions of when AGI was going to come was 100 years away, 200 years away, if it was even possible. The current consensus amongst these scientists is 5 to 7 years, i.e. 2030, which is alarmingly close for something that's going to be superintelligence beyond humans. Now, what do we do about that as organizational leaders? Best to just ignore that and forget about that. We've got enough to worry about in between now and then. But this is this thing about shortening the time frame. You know, trying to think 5 years, 10 years, 20 years as a plan. Huge changes coming. Shortening the time frame, 6 months, 12 months. Focus on what we can control. Let's just sum up this sort of macro area for a moment. 30th of November, 2022. OpenAI launches ChatGPT, and generative AI becomes accessible to 5.8 billion people free of charge. This is our Viking moment. This is the world has shifted. And the world shifted to the AI revolution. Boom, a starting gun kicked off, and people were moving into this camp and disrupting and changing their fields and their areas, and there was other people just doing nothing. You guys have now got no excuse because you all know that's when the gun started. The good news is we're probably still in the first 5% at this stage. So it's not too late to be the disruptors. It's definitely not too late. The AI revolution is going to be hyper-turbulent and unpredictable. Because it's affecting every industry at the same time, we know from COVID, trying to make predictions when you've got an interconnected global supply chain, forget it. So there's all kinds of complexities of what's going to go on. So best to stay close, stay short term, don't try to predict too far forward. It's got a compounded exponential rate of change. What does that mean? It means not only is the rate of change accelerating with the tech, but the actual base models and the engines that run them and the computers that run them on are also exponentially increasing. So it's like the automobile revolution happening, but at the same time the engine moves from combustion engine to battery to nuclear to some kind of magical fusion thing. So you've got this going on, and these models and things are racing along as well. £750 billion of investment into that industry in the last 18 months is the estimate on this. This is transitioning the world to a world of 10x coding productivity, 4x knowledge worker productivity. So a huge boost. So think we can all get 4 things done, 4 times the amount of work done for the same amount of money. Impact, the speed of this is going to be very different. Also, as well, I'm just going to point out, it's going to be like an S-curve. So look at disruptive technology before, like the iPhone. Everyone's on a Nokia. There's a few little innovators playing with iPhones and stuff. We all think they're a bit nerdy. Suddenly, a couple of other people get an iPhone. This is actually blinking useful, having the internet on your phone. 1 or 2 years later, everyone's got an iPhone. That's the end of Nokia. That's how disruptive tech arrives. Early adopters playing with it, doing it. Suddenly, hits the mainstream. It goes off in an S-curve. If you think about the impact of the internet over the last, it's pretty much the same as it was 30 years ago. It's just connecting a load of computers together. But the reason it's taken so long to change and transform society is because we all had to get on it. When the first person was on the internet, they're like, hello. Someone in the US is, oh, hello. Anyone else out there? No. Just the 2 of us, chatting backwards and forward on a modem. Let's get our friends on it. Okay, how do I get on this thing? You need a modem. You've got to plug it in. Oh, yeah, what's that beeping noise? Yeah, you just don't worry about that. And obviously, it took a long time for everyone to get on it and move through. But the tech's pretty simple. Just connect everyone together, run the computers in the cloud instead of locally. And we're only just seeing the societal change of 30 years. So think about recruitment 30 years ago. How did it used to happen? Think about buying a house 30 years ago, when you used to get those printed sheets and photographs stuck on them. Yeah? Compared to how we do it today. The prediction is that generative AI is going to happen 5 to 10 times faster. So you're talking about the same kind of impact in 3 to 6 years. I reckon we're on about 12 months into that mode. And if you think about the way the internet worked, people generally got their business from yellow pages or phone calls, and then there was just a little moment where everyone had a website. And then suddenly, as it then moved on, as it went through different countries, it expanded. We don't have any of that waiting for people to sign up. Everybody got it on day 1 this time. This has never happened before. Therefore, the pace is unpredictable. Right now, around the world, there will be conversations like going on this in India, in Singapore, America, other countries. Everything's interacted international. Who knows what other markets are doing? This gives us the ChatGPT challenge. The challenge is disrupt or be disrupted. It's a challenge for governments, institutions, businesses, but ultimately it's a challenge for individuals. Are we going to disrupt ourselves and upskill, or are we going to wait and be disrupted? Now, I've got a simple strategy for how organizations should approach this, and it's the me, my team, my business model. And it goes something like this. If you aren't AI literate, that's where the strategy starts. And this is what you need to roughly know. What's the difference between generative AI and retrieval AI? Because that's the only new thing. What are AI models? We know ChatGPT 3.5, 4, 4.0, but there's Claude, there's Midjourney. In fact, there's hundreds of them. And they're coming out all the time. What's prompt engineering? Well, we've all done a little bit of that just now. We copied a prompt, we put it into a model, it asked us some questions, we did some stuff. And if any of you thought, let's update my story, you're prompt engineers, you're off. AI tools, this is it popping up in LinkedIn, different applications. Bots, we mix it with some data, and then we've got the ethics and IP. So these are the kind of the basic bits. If you're not sure what those are, you need to get yourself to having a rough idea of what these are. Don't need to be an expert, just the basics. So you're not saying, I'm going to use AI to do this, or I'm going to use AI to do that. You're saying things like, what prompt have we used to get the model to reply to that, to assess the CVs? Have we tried GPT 4.0 out instead of 3.5 for that email that we're writing? You're just asking the layer up of detailed questions. Yeah? Once you're at that point, the next thing is, have a look at your team. Have they got these skills? Who's good at it? And maybe train everybody up a little bit, build some AI literacy up, get the team ready. And for you guys as recruiters, you can apply that to other organizations and your potential things. And then, once you've got a reasonable understanding of this and who's good at it, then you can kind of move on to the business model and start to think, how can I disrupt my area? So many businesses I'm coming across at the moment are trying to start with projects of their business model, but when I ask them questions, they don't actually know what generative AI is. They don't know the difference between a prompt, a model, a bot, and a tool. How are they coming up with a strategy? Okay, I think this is a good time to do a couple of things with you guys. I've sensed I've been talking a while. So I'm going to leave you with a few of these slides to look at in your own time. And let's have a little demo of what we can do. So if we could just swap over to my laptop a second. Okay, while we were all onboarding and I was talking there, the AI has taken all of your answers, gathered them all together, fired them off to ChatGPT, and it's written us a poem. So let's see how this goes. In the realm of tech, where change is the game, we gather to learn, to grow, and to claim. A spot at the forefront where AI is the star, to disrupt or be disrupted, we've come afar. Abigail swims through data lakes so vast. Is Abigail here somewhere? Hello, Abigail? Been swimming through some data lakes? Creating adverts, swift and fast. Her goal to grow members with AI's embrace, she dives into algorithms with style and grace. Julia, are you around here somewhere? Yep. Julia tends to her digital garden with care, crafting emails. Hi, Theo. Theo sprints through the marketplace with zeal, AI in sales sealing the deal. His goal to outrun competitors' pace, I think we might have misgendered Theo there. With AI's assistance, he wins the race. Alex watches the rugby with strategic eyes, researching, linking CRM ties. LinkedIn changes, data to check, AI ensures his work is top deck. Jenny somewhere out there? Oh, blinding me in the light. With gym tone, precision and flair, drives the sales with an AI pair. Her goal to lift numbers, making sales soar. With tech by her side, she scores more and more. Another Alex. There's a tale quite unique. Engagement and a baby within a week. Congratulations, another Alex. Analyzing CVs, explaining the core, reducing admin burden is his AI chore. Georgina's AI usage might seem quite obscure. Her organizational goals are mysterious allure. Her hobby left us guessing, a riddle unsolved. In AI's enigma, she's deeply involved. As we brace for the future, let's all take heed. Embrace AI's potential, plant the seed. Together we'll learn, adapt and apply, and ride the tech wave soaring high. So how have we done that? Basically, when you're all onboarded, we've taken your information here that you filled in. Nothing too amazing about that. 195 of you logged in. It packets that lot up as a JSON file quietly in the background. Just like you pasted in the bedtime story, it pastes in the little blob of data. And then we give it the prompt to select the 7 delegates who spent the most amount of time filling in the questions and write a poem about AI and how we're all going to get there. But the beauty of AI is once you've got the data, you can do loads of things with it really quickly. We don't just have to stop there. So I got it to say, okay, tell me about the collective experience of the people in the room. And it's written me a little summary. Collective experience of AI for the delegates appears to be generally intermediate, with most having a practical understanding of AI applications in their respective fields, such as advertising, creative, email, composition, sales research. To ensure maximum benefit, the delegates should go on breakout sessions by bar. So we got a little summary there. I also got it to do a little analysis on the standard deviation, and it came up with, okay, 2.6 out of 5 was our average score, which is not too bad. It tells us who the delegates with the highest score are. Richard has the highest AI understanding score with a score of 4. His AI is for business and clients and organizational perspective. His personal hobby is not listed. And it talks us through who are the lowest ones. It gives us a little summary of experience. And then I thought, well, hey, why not have a song? Yeah, because as we've got it, let's make a song too. And we can now just paste those lyrics that we've made there, pop into custom, paste in the lyrics that we wrote earlier. Okay, and let's just go down here and enter a style of music, and I'll go strong female vocal in the style of, and this lady who knew when ChatGPT was, do you want to pick us a style? Dolly Parton. Now, let's go country music, because if I pick Dolly Parton, it will go, ooh, you're trying to do some plagiarism. So let's just say country music. Okay, and if we just click create, that will go off and create us some music. That's nice. Also, hang on a minute, why not have an image too? So I got it to create an image that represents what's going on. I can paste that in here, do a little image generation, set that off. I can also, if I go back here, scoot back to the top, and if I click this send inspirational email, that, because it just picked the 7 of you for the poem, that should now send you all an email generated from an AI motivational coach, based on your personal responses to that. Fire that back to you, and you've got a little email that will be trying to pep you up based on how you answered those questions to see what goes on. Let's have a look how the song turned out. Let's have a looky. So it's worthwhile remembering, this is a completely original piece of music that the AI has composed based on your responses in 1 minute. This was only been technically possible 8 weeks to get it to this quality. It's like it was paying attention, eh? Let's have another one. It always gives us 2 songs because creativity is now a commodity. And we could pick any style. We can do it. If I'd bothered to sign up for the paid version, we could basically be, if I'd signed up for the paid version, we could go in there, we can edit it, we can stretch it, we can edit the lyrics, we can overlay different things. We can do that. Let's have a look as well. It's made as an image. This is what it's come up with for us lot. It's been rather complimentary to me in the middle there. But this is supposed to be us all being inspired by AI in the conference. Again, this is just the free version. If we fiddle around with that and did some prompt engineering, we could refine it to how we kind of want. And I think, did you make a video, Jao, while I was talking? Oh, we have. Here we go. Can we stop that music playing a second? We put this into a video prompt, and it's made a video. Oh, can you put the sound on my screen a second? Put my screen on the laptop, on the main screen. All right, I need my sound. Okay, oh, sorry, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, all right. Okay, that's a good point, yeah. There we go. That serves me right for making those jokes about Gordon, doesn't it? Okay, right, let's go back to there, and okay.
Welcome to our presentation on the importance of AI literacy for recruiters. In this rapidly evolving digital landscape, understanding and leveraging AI tools like ChatGPT.
So this has been made live just from your responses while we were doing it.
Our mission is steeped in the urgency of now, with a clear focus on propelling organizations to become the disruptors in their sector rather than the disruptors. We are committed to redefining the future.
Just skip on a bit.
AI-driven future. Organizations must enhance their AI literacy comprehension.
Anyway, I'm not going to play the full 3 minutes of it. There's
Outside of work.
That's with a little tool called InVideo, which I will make sure both of those tools, Sooner AI, which I'm just going to bookmark there for you now, and InVideo, they'll appear in your little AI Buddy area as well. Okay, so I think that's enough for demo from me. let's get you guys doing something for a little bit here. Can we just go back to my slide a second, please? And I can press this button, can't I? So, back to you guys doing something. Now, this, I think, is a world first of what we're about to do. I've never seen anyone else do this before. So that's the covering it if it goes wrong. But when you put all that information in, what happened was, it's taken that information, it's whipped off to your LinkedIn profile, scraped your kind of digital footprint, modeled you, whipped it into a load of psychological analysis, Belbin, etc., profiled you, created that back, and made you for a clone of yourself, and a proposal writer, and I think we gave you a form filler, and we gave you something else as well. Okay? So, what we're going to do on our tables now is all go and have a chat with our clone. And I'll just show you this in a minute. This is the one that's your clone. It should be your name and a clone on the AI Buddy app. This one's your proposal writer. So I'm just going to demo this, and I know the AI buddies out there on each table, you're going to get what I'm talking about and help your table work through this. So don't get really excited and race off with your own AI clone, as it were. Come and have a little noodle through this. So I'm just going to give you a quick demo of what to do with the digital clone, and I'll give you a quick demo of what to do with the proposal writer, and then we can, you guys can have a little bit of a go. So if you could flip back to my screen a second, please. Right, so all we're going to need to do here, you're going to find, it'll be something like this. You should be able to find your digital clone, copy the prompt, pop into ChatGPT, and all you've got to do is paste it in and press return. Okay, don't do anything else. Let it do its stuff. And it should give you some instructions at the end. So look, hello, I'm Rob Dixon, a digital clone of Rob Dixon at Dixon Humphreys, and I'm here to act as his digital deputy, paste in emails, get me to respond, ask me opinions on reports, etc., etc. So I could paste in an email. Let's just go for this one that I know is a really good one earlier. So I could pop into this guy's email to me, Control-A, Control-C, pop back in, paste in that email, and now my digital clone will reply for me. Hi, Angus. And it's answering his questions here, and it's probably going to suggest that he does something at the end of it as well. I could also say something like, hey, Rob, tell me about your goals and ambitions. And it'll know a little bit about that. I could say, what personality have you? And it should have a bit of a decent idea about that. So look, it knows me. Thought leadership in AI and strategic management, mentorship and development, work-life balance. Maybe it's got that one a little bit wrong, but there you go. What personality have you? And we can have a little chat with the clone. You've also got in there a PricewaterhouseCoopers report on the impact of AI that was just done about a month ago with all of the kind of jobs and impact on that. And what I want you to do with your digital clone, this is a slight stretcher as it were, is go into your clone and stop doing that clone. Take the PricewaterhouseCoopers report. You'll only be able to do this in the paid one. Drop it in and say, how does this report impact, and if you say your, because it's the clone is you, your business. Okay? And I need to give it a minute to read it all, set it off. And what it will do, your clone will read that as if you read it and now say there's going to be increased demand for AI specialist skills. This is a strategic opportunity for an AI consultancy, surprise, surprise, etc., etc. Okay? So, have a go with that. See how far you can get. Okay. I'm going to do a little demo here because about half of you have got it. So I'm just going to show you what happens on mine, just so you can see. Now these little clones that have turned up, the form filler, the upskiller, and so on and so forth, yeah, they will eventually turn up on your phone. Okay? It's just the way it runs is we have to do one at a time. There's 200 of you. I think we've done about 100. and it's quietly working through. So, scroll it again, have a little go at lunch. It might turn up, it should turn up by the end of the day at the latest. But I think we've got about half of you there, and some of you have been using it, some of you haven't. So I'll just show you a little bit of how these work and what you can kind of do with them. So first thing is, and those of you where these have turned up, you'll be able to do this. If you click on that icon there, the little user one, and go to Profile Settings, and click on your profile, you will see what the profile is on yourself. Okay? And if you read that, it's pretty amazing how it can do this. And it does this by taking your answers, going off to LinkedIn, scraping your profile, taking all of that, putting it back into psychological profile tools and Belbin, writes a report on it, then produces a summary. So for me, we've got what I've done, some general stuff, my skills, kind of regular C things. Then it does a big 5 ocean analysis, and apparently I'm high on openness, high on conscientiousness, medium on extroversion, not so good for doing public speaking, but there you go. Self-awareness, high, self-regulation, blah-de-blah-de-blah. It does a DISC analysis, dominance, influence, steadiness. It does a Belbin analysis. I'm a plant, a shaper, a moderator, evaluator. It profiles you. If you've left your age lying around somewhere on the internet, it'll know how old you are. If it doesn't, it'll guess how old you are from what you're doing. It knows where I live. It's done my social grade. It knows my qualifications. Then it comes up with my purposes and goals and objectives inferred from your answers to those questions and your LinkedIn profile. Then it gives a little summary. So for me, I'm a comprehensive, seasoned business leader, blah-de-blah-de-blah. But also, Rob's psychological profile reveals high openness and conscientiousness, indicating a propensity for innovation and meticulousness, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Rob's motivational drivers are achievement, power, and affiliation, aligning with his career anchors in technical and functional competence, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Demographically, Rob's in his 50s, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Rob's purpose is to integrate AI with his pedagogical practice and enhance business strategy through AI applications. His goal includes developing AI capabilities within organizations and advancing academic, etc., etc., etc. So when that turns up, that is what's been made. By the way, you can actually go in and edit that yourselves, and then you click Save at the bottom. And if you're thinking like, ooh, I don't like that, you can just delete it. Yeah, just do that and delete it all, and it'll be gone. Now, that is then being used to create these other prompts. Okay, so this one is that I showed you was the digital clone, and I got it to the form filler and asked it a few questions about me. And these are called persona prompts. Okay, so you can cut and paste this into any model. We've just demoed ChatGPT, but you could paste it into Claude, you could paste it into Llama 2. There are lots of other models. It's not the time to show you what all the other ones are, but I'm just going to demo you the proposal writer that's been made as well. So if you look here, what it's doing, it takes my user profile and chucks that in the top, yeah? And then down here, it's basically saying, where it is role, this is background role task format. You're an experienced business development manager with exceptional professional proposal, writing AI skills. You're here to assist the user profile. So I've given the AI now the job of being a business development manager here to help me, okay? Then I've given it a task, and it's basically work out who I am, what my business is, say you're here to help, and then whatever I upload, it's going to consider a target client, it's going to write a proposal. Okay, so with this one, I can just do Rob's proposal writer, pop in, start a new one, paste it, there we go. And let's say I want to do something for TRN. I'll pop into the TRN website, just Control-A, Control-C. Here we go, I should be set up in a minute. Hi Rob, I'm Mary, an expert business development manager and professional proposal writer. Please upload a meeting transcript. Yeah, it'll do it off of meeting transcripts as well. A client brief, so if you've got a brief for a client or details, okay, we just paste that in. So I just scrape the website, and here we go. Do you have any other information about the target client's specific needs, objectives, challenges that they're currently facing? So, right, this is the recruitment network. So I'm going to say, please put together a proposal to white label the Dixon Humphreys capability offerings, capability building offerings for TRN to promote to its membership. And fingers crossed, that's all the guidance it wants, and here we go. Proposal for white labeling Dixon Humphreys capability building offerings to the recruitment network. And we've got an explanation of what we do, a little bit about that. It's primary objectives, enhance TRN's membership value, boost recruitment business performance, drive innovation and efficiency, some proposed services, some workshops. We'll have more about that later. Strategic management consultancy, ongoing support and demand, alignment with TRN's strategic objectives, TRN's vision, to provide recruitment leaders with the tools, advice, guidance, training and support needed to maximize their business performance. It's getting all this for the TRN website, a little plan, and it's put together a little proposal that was there. And if I wanted to, from this point, I could nip in to, into my LinkedIn. I could grab Gordon's LinkedIn profile, paste it in there, and I could say, draft me a personalized email for Gordon and attach this to it. Okay? So that's how that works. You just upload a target client, anything. You don't have to type it in. You just scrape something and dump it. And it knows it wants to write a proposal and it'll do it. Once you've got the proposal, you can just go make it longer and focus more on the training aspect or whatever, and it'll just rewrite it. And you can do that in any language, you know, whatever you kind of want that's there. So that is what you're going to be able to do with the proposal writer. That is kind of there. Okay. How did you sort of get on with that? I saw, for some reason, this side of the room seemed to have a few more of you got in there and got into your clones and did a few things. And then this side, a few little more. Alex, did you get in and do some stuff?
With the clone?
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit. Was asking about myself. It's pretty cool.
Fantastic. Did anyone get it to do the PricewaterhouseCoopers report? Yeah? We might be doing a lot of us trying to do things at the same time. But have a go at that and build it in. You use these tools. You'll find once you get a little bit more confident with these things, and just start with a bedtime story and get used to it, and you get this methodology, you'll find you will never go back to how you used to work, read reports, read profiles, assess documents, move things through. And as you kind of start to move through your sequence of stuff, you'll find, can we go back to the slides, please? We will, you'll be well on your way to starting to develop your own kind of strategy. So, 11:15 we finish, isn't it? So we've got 15 minutes left. I want to try and leave a little bit of time for some Q&A. But just before that, I just want to cover how do you come up with an organizational strategy for basically what it seems like all hell's breaking loose. There's chaos. There's all kinds of things coming on. People are building these things. Somebody asked a question over here before. Are these apps just ChatGPT? No. ChatGPT is one app of 10,000. There's absolutely tons of these companies. This lot is the startup landscape. These are all seed-funded companies, 5 to 15 million, 16 to 40 million, 41 to 100 million, 100 million plus, every single thing on that slide. And that was at the 31st of March, 2023. So that was a year ago. So there's a massive startup boom, all these different things, all these different models out there. It's not just ChatGPT. Yes, ChatGPT is probably the best place to start. Yes, that's the place to have a go with your skills, and I'd highly recommend getting the paid one, especially GPT-4o. But be aware, this isn't just a one-product thing. This is huge. It is coming all over the place. So, how do we come up with a strategy to deal with this? In one of my other hats, I lecture on the the global MBA program. And I'm the unit leader of strategic management. And this is one of the concepts we teach. It's called strategic drift. And basically, this blue line is what we call environmental change. That's what's possible to do. The optimum way of running your business, the optimum thing. This is what is possible. And the red line is what we can consider organizational strategic change. So most organizations do something like this. They poodle along, and then they just go around in circles and don't really move. Yeah? Now, at some point, this gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the bigger the gap, the more of an opportunity to disrupt the sector. You guys are all recruitment consultants. Yeah? Most of you, I think. You're pretty good at this. Yeah? What's possible becomes here. The big players are out there tootling along like that. You find some niche. Oh, if only we had SaaS programmers or back-end people, or no one's properly serving venture things. A gap opens up. Yeah, you guys move into that gap. Either one of the big players responds, pushes you out of it, or they exit that gap. Same thing happens just basically to businesses in all sectors. A really good one at the moment is electric cars. The automotive industry was tootling along, minding its own business, doing the same thing it's done for pretty much 100 years with combustion engines, talking about electric vehicles but not really doing anything. This gap got bigger and bigger and bigger. You couldn't really launch a Tesla, back here in 2000, but come 2008, 2007, actually there was quite a big gap. So let's just go straight to the latest tech. We'll build an EV. What's happened? We've disrupted the entire EV industry. Everyone's moving over to electric because this gap opened up. And we can see the stories of history. Nokia, the internet's not going to catch on phones. Big gap, Apple comes in, end of Nokia. Xerox, look at this. We've got a graphical user interface we've built. Now we're going to stick to photocopiers. End of Xerox. Along comes Apple and Windows. Toys R Us, online toy sales. That's not going to catch on. Let's double down on the stores. Sort of worked for a while, but no, they went to history too. Blockbuster, remember those? Yeah, they had the opportunity to buy Netflix right at the beginning. Didn't think it was going to catch on. Let's just carry on doing what we're doing. We're going to be great at video. That was the end of Blockbuster, and so on and so forth. And Kodak is probably the most famous of all. They invented digital photography, came up with digital photography because it was possible, and thought, if we launch this, we're going to cannibalize our business. Who's going to buy? Oh, we don't want to do that. So anyway, the phone companies picked it up. That was the end of Kodak. Yeah. Now, where are we today? We're basically here. This rate of change is accelerating. And those £750 billion worth of funded startup companies are busy building all these tools for businesses to drive forward. And we are about here. So how do we keep up? Well, what we want, the winners, will be the ones that keep the red line as close to the blue line. And how do we measure that? That's the rate of innovation per unit time. How do we get our innovation up? People. How do we get people who can innovate? We get AI literate people. We get AI literate leaders. We get people who can see that you can profile something in 2 minutes. And now let's get the whole company profiling people in 2 minutes. If I can knock that demo up in about a week, what can someone who can actually code, because I can't code, what someone who actually knows what they're doing can do? And someone who actually is a psychologist can put together. And then when they launch that to the industry, what's that going to do? Yeah? In terms of AI strategy, there are 3 prongs to a good AI strategy for an organization. There's the policy, the innovation, and the people, the literacy. So if you think the policy, this is the ethics, this is the GDPR, this is the licenses, this is the tools, this is what everyone can use, etc., etc. Okay? The innovation, this is all the stuff we can do with it. Oh, we can use it for sales, we can use it for this, we can use it for marketing. It's all the ideas of the use cases. And this bit is the skill set of the people, the AI literacy of the people. Now, universities and government start in the ethics area because they love ethics. Yeah, they can talk all day, they get the slides up. Ooh, what about if it's a bit racist when it makes a decision? Ooh, what about if it gives all of these jobs to the wrong people? What about if it's really biased when it makes decisions? And they can spend ages talking about this, and they don't do anything. They don't even know what generative AI is most of the time. Businesses are over here. All right, let's get a plan. Hey, IT guy, get on with this. Come up with all what we're going to implement. Off they go. Yeah? But they end up with a big list of things that the IT guys come up with. But what do we know about IT guys? They don't understand the business and where the value is created in an organization. Therefore, they come up with a load of tools that nobody uses. Okay? So where should an AI strategy start? It should start here. It needs to start on upskilling the people and making them AI literate. How do you do that? You do things like what we've just done. You get a few tools together, you just play with it. You learn how to read your kids some bedtime stories with AI and ChatGPT. If you've got the paid one, you wander around with the camera, you take pictures of plants and go, why is my plant dying? And it will say, oh, have you planted it here, etc., etc. You take pictures of your fridge and say, can you come up with an ingredient for me to cook today? And you do this kind of thing, and you use it. If we had more time, I could take a picture of you all and ask questions like, who looks the least interested in the presentation? And we can go and highlight them out. Always a dangerous one to do that, because everybody is. Oh, no. Right, so this is where we kind of focus. And just playing with it, just getting used to it. And if you just take existing domain experts, people know their jobs. Leaders know their jobs. CEOs know their jobs. HR directors know their jobs. IT people know their jobs. Venture capitalists know their jobs. All you've got to do is show them how to use the tools. They'll work out what to do with it. It's an educational challenge, AI. It's about upskilling people. It's about empowering them. They will then work out where they go and do this. If you want to say to me, what is the recruitment industry going to look like in 2 or 3 years? I'd say I have no idea. But I know who's going to form that. It's going to be the most AI literate ones of you lot and other people in the industry who start working out how to use this and leverage it, and you're going to create it. So, what's the strategy that you can all apply? You don't really need to worry about where it's going. You just need to focus on upskilling yourself, because it's the only thing you can control. You can't predict what everyone else is going to do. You can't predict what the competitors are going to do. You can't predict what's going to happen with the models. What you can control? You can control your own skill set. And you need to carve a little bit of time to go and have a go with it and do it. You can control your team's skill set. You can invest in upskilling them. And then you'll suddenly find all these other opportunities will become apparent. And that doesn't just apply to your organizations, it's going to apply to all of your clients' organizations. And once they realize that, which is coming, you're going to discover that that is what they are going to be asking you for. They're going to want AI literate people. They want to know how AI literate the people are there. I'm not going to cover this again, but we're going to talk a little bit, and Gordon's going to talk about a session we're going to be running with the Recruitment Network. This is what AI literacy is, and it doesn't actually take very long to do it, really. Once you've got a nice little platform and you have a go at this and you've got the accounts, you go off and play. The rest goes. I'm just going to remind us again of this little strategy. Me, my team, my business model. Yeah? Think of it like what's kind of just happened is everyone in the world was walking places or running. And suddenly everyone in the world's been given a bike. Yeah? Now, people are saying things like, where can I go with the bike? And they're saying that to IT people or project managers. Nobody cares where you can go. You'll work it out. All that will happen is, I'm going to help you learn to ride that bike. You're going to fall off a few times and look like a muppet. But once you can ride the bike, you'll know where you want to go, because you were walking 20 miles to go and get whatever you did over there. Now you're going to realize you can cycle 200 miles a day. Now you're going to realize that when your organization can all ride the bike, you can get into one of those pelotons, and you can be doing the Tour de France, you can be going up hills. Yeah? That's the technique. It's about get the team to ride the bike. The sad thing about that analogy is the people who are running marathons, which is often the top people in businesses, their sacrifice is 25 miles of running to have a day learning to ride a bike and going nowhere. And maybe it takes you a couple of days. But a question you have to ask yourself as a marathon runner is how many people are you prepared to overtake you on bikes? People who are unfit, they don't know what they're doing, they're younger than you, they're not experts in your industry, but they're going to learn to ride and they're going to start flying past you. When's the time to do that? Well, like I said back here, it's a race. Boom. The people that get there first, they'll be the disruptors, they get the winnings, they get the spoils. Everyone else will be forced to move by the market price. The last people are going to really struggle. 3 ways organizations make money out of AI. 1, pretty simple. You upskill the people. You give them the right tools, give them the right accounts, empower them, tell them what they can put in there, what they can't put up there, give them a bit of training, let them go. And from my experience working with organizations, that results in about a 30% productivity boost off the bat, and higher for people who know it. But it gets the thing going. Next level, AI automation. Not the time to bring it up in the last minute, but what limited automation was the interface between structured data and unstructured data. AI has removed that now, because whenever you come up to something like a phone conversation and you want to bring it into a CRM system, you just chuck it off to ChatGPT with the record and you bring it back, and anyone can do that, okay? So that's the second level. And the third level is the really exciting one, where we find a load of proprietary data and we train some brand new model in the generative AI way. That's where they're doing things like, there's a weather forecasting one that they've come up with, a model that does the weather. There's one that uses MRI scans. Give it an MRI scan, it plots where the cancer is going to be in 2 years based on its training data. Elon Musk's using this for self-driving cars off video. There's tons and tons and tons of things going on in that area. The world's going to be a very different place. So, I think this is about a good place to end. And hopefully, today is really just the start of what you do with this. You've got that AI Buddy platform for a couple of weeks. Fingers crossed, all of your clones and bots of things have turned up. There is a little thing in the top right where you can submit a little request and say, hurry up and get mine made for me. And we'll make sure we get all of that done for you and can have a play around. But you've got some toys. We've tried to design that app like a bit of a sweet shop. And today I've tried to give you a little taste of a couple of sweets. And hopefully you're going to feel a bit inspired to go and have a little few more, try a few things out, have a go. Time box a little bit of time each week. Just get one use case for AI, even if it's just reading your kids. And start on this and start building up and focus on what you can control. Okay. I thought I might have something profound to say at the end. But no idea came. So anyway, thank you very much.